Hey guys, this is Jabroni, and today I want to bring clarification on what I mean and what I don't mean by calling the Yeti-Witch attack a spam attack. And so I want to give you 4 things on this matter. First of all, spam sometimes can taste good, so I've been told by my friends. If you fry it, or you can combine it with other foods. So spam's not always a bad thing. In all seriousness, it's not exactly spam. In fact, I recommend that whenever you do the Yeti-Witch attack, that you practice it and use it in a way that's not just spamming your troops on the base. Practice creating a funnel. And by making a funnel, I mean, instead of just putting all your troops just in a line across the base, start by putting Yeti and Witches in one corner and then Yeti and Witches in another corner. Their goal is to take out those structures in that corner so that you can then put the rest of your troops in between so that they can go towards the middle of the base. I also want to recommend that you take the time to plan, especially if you're in Legends League or even in Titans. Take the 30 seconds that you have. This is wisdom that my friend CB Warrior shared with me, and he's right. Take that 30 seconds to plan out your attack before you actually do it. And if it's a war attack, you got even more than 30 seconds. Plan where the jump spell makes sense to be used. Plan where you can get the best value from your quad quakes. Plan where you're going to use your rage spells and your Grand Warden's ability. The order that you're going to put your troops in. As you heard me say, the Yeti and Witches in the corners first, then the remaining ones in between, then your Barb King and your Queen and your Grand Warden, and then, plan those things out. This is not meant to really be a full spam attack. Yes, there is luck involved, but let's be honest, there are other strategies where luck is involved. And the third thing I want to mention is that there is a place in the game for all types of attacks. Yes, this attack works well on certain bases, but it's not going to be, a strategy that works on every base. There is no OP strategy. I know you probably hear some YouTubers say that, but listen, there is no one strategy to rule them all, like a ring to rule them all. Furthermore, fourth thing, you need to know your strengths. The Queen Charge hybrid attack, so many YouTubers rave about it. And yes, I have also found it to be a very good attack. It can work on many different types of bases. But there are a lot of things to plan when you do a Queen Charge Miners Hogs hybrid attack. More so to plan than what you would with, say, the Yeti-Witch attack. And so you need to know your strengths. What can you be successful with? Where do you need to start? What previous experience do you have in this game? Because when you do a Queen Charge Miners Hogs hybrid attack, there are so many different things you have to plan. You need to plan, where are you going to put your queen? Where are you going to put your king? Because they have to be able to kind of be the corners like I was talking about on the Yeti-Witch attack. It's your queen and your king that are the corners on the hybrid attack, where your miners and hogs will later come in between to then go towards the middle of the base, and on bases like this, possibly the town hall. You have to make sure your queen takes down the enemy CC. Sometimes you have to lure it out. Sometimes you're going to use a blimp to be the thing that lures out the CC. And other times you're going to put your queen near the side of the CC. So that's something that you have to plan for, even more so with the Queen Charge Miners Hogs hybrid attack than what you would necessarily have to worry about quite as much with the Yeti-Witch attack. Speaking of which, you need to plan, are you going to use the Siege Barracks to be with your Barb King, or are you going to use a blimp? And if you're going to use a blimp, how are you going to use it? Are you going to use it as a funneling tool for the Queen Charge, or are you going to use it with the Warden's ability to go towards the Town Hall? So many different things you have to plan here. You also have to plan how you're going to funnel your queen. If you're watching this attack that I'm showing you right here, I tried to use baby dragons to force my queen to go towards this multi-target inferno, but you can see this air defense starts shooting down my healers. My queen, I don't think, ever really makes it to this multi-inferno. Furthermore, there's a lot of stuff to keep track of with the Queen Charge Miners Hogs attack. Not only do you have to start paying attention to, your queen and using rage spells possibly to keep her alive on the healers, the rage on the healers, but then you have to start paying attention to your hogs and your miners and when you're going to use your warden's ability and, the heal spells for them. On this attack, I forgot to save a rage spell for my Yetis that came out of the blimp to take down the town hall, so I had to use a free spell there instead. So many different things you have to keep track of when you're doing the Queen Charge hybrid Miners Hogs hybrid attack. And so I'm going to be honest with you. If you don't have a lot of practice in your past with multi-step attacks, like maybe you never really used Hog Riders or Laloon before in the past, then it's going to take some time for you to really learn how to do the Queen Charge Miners Hogs hybrid attack. And therefore, maybe it's better for you to start with just planning, instead of doing it in a spam way, planning how you're going to do something such as a Yeti-Witch attack. That doesn't have as much to keep track of. You don't have like a queen in one place and then hogs and miners and your warden and royal champion in a totally different place. It's just less to keep track of. Now, there's still things you have to keep track of. Like you heard me say before, you have to be, after you've deployed your 2 rage spells, for your main group and your kill squad, you do need to pay attention to when the siege barracks is going to open up with the hogs coming out and then using your royal champion to come along with those hogs. So there are still things you have to keep track of, but it's not as complex of an attack. And this is what you need to know about the game. Every attack strategy has its place. Some have a lot of things to keep track of, like Laloon's another example. So many different things you have to keep track of with the Laloon, and practicing the timing with the lava hounds and the balloons and the minions and the haste spells, and are you going to use a rage spell and where, and freeze spell and warden's ability. Lots of things to keep track of. And then there's other attacks that don't have quite as much to keep track of, like the Yeti-Witch attack, like the Yeti Pekka Smash attack. So you need to know where your strengths are. And if you're going to practice a more complicated attack, you need to definitely practice it. Practice it in Legends League. Practice it in friendly challenges. And when you do friendly challenges, take the time to plan it out. Don't just hit attack right away and just plop your troops down. So I wanted to bring some clarification. I know I called Yeti-Witch a spam attack in my previous video, and I said it relied on luck. And I'm not going to lie, it does have a luck element to it. I'm not going to lie about that. But that doesn't mean it's a bad attack. It doesn't mean you're a less than type of player and not as cool as the pros. You need to realize this game is meant to be a game. It's meant to be fun. And you need to learn where your strengths are. And you also need to know every attack has its place. That doesn't mean Yeti-Witch is a bad attack. It means it's a good attack on certain bases. So guys, I hope this video was helpful to you. I hope it brought some clarification to things I talked about in my other video on the Yeti-Witch attack. And I hope you're enjoying this game and this video. We'll see you next time.